Hi guys, in this video, we're going to learn the different types of ORM, and for this topic, I'll be discussing about this query builder known as knexJS and decide if knexJS is a good choice for you. So now, without any further ado, let's get started. knexJS. You can access this by logging to this website, which is https://knexjs.org. Most of you guys say this as Knex or Next.js, but it's pronounced as Knex. By definition, it is a batteries included SQL query builder for Postgres, MS SQL, MySQL, MariaDB, SQLite 3, Oracle, and Amazon Redshift. If you're familiar with Adonis.js, Bookshelf, on top of this query, knexJS is widely known for that, some widely known ORM. It does not explain that this is a direct ORM, but it is a SQL query builder for this SQL that we know. If you are familiar also with SQLize, this type of ORM, there are the type of tools for us to help or improve our query relation with our, if we're going to perform a query database. So this ORM really helps, but sometimes it's very hard, which is I will agree again as well, because if you perform a multiple query, which is if you are confident with that type of setup in your database, especially if you're doing some codes. The concept here in ORM is simply as the simplified structure to query those tables. Let's say you have a multiple relationship. So this type of ORM will really helps. And also it's most commonly used for nowadays. So if we're going to start with ORM, we should learn one of these. And this example is one of that. So let's go deeper. So what are these use of knexJS? Please take note, guys. I won't be using any CLI. So if you want to explore more about knexJS, you can check this documentation and see how it goes. So I'm going to just perform the basic queries for this one. So let's begin. For this topic, I'll be using MySQL. And for that database, I'll be using XAMPP or XAMPP. So you can use any database on your reference as long as there's a MySQL. And for the IDE, I rather to choose this vide SQL. It is similar to any IDE that you know, but this vide SQL is a pre-stop, so it's not a requirement. But you can use this if you want to perform if you want to experience a GUI. So this one is also a good one. Also, there are many others, but if you like this one, you can go to this website and download this IDE. Now let's start with this one. If you happen to log in, this is the actual interface. But for this demo, I already prepared the database, and I named this as knexJS or knexDB rather. So this is our sample database for this demo. So yeah, we'll start now. So how to use this one? So to begin with, I will going to create a new folder and going to name that as Knex Code. Okay, so that's a good name. So for my IDE, I'll be using VS Code. For you guys, you can use any IDE on your preference. Just make sure that you have the Node installed because that's one of the requirements. Okay, so while waiting, okay, so from here, okay, okay, so I'll be start with npm init -y. Okay, so these are the requirements for this topic. So let's clear this up first. For this one, we'll be using Knex, of course, and I will be using MySQL 2. So this is the latest version. For this demo, I'm just going to perform some basic queries using Knex. So it's a fun way to learn. But if you, like I said, if you want to enhance this type of setup, you can learn more using the CLI. Basically, if you're already familiar with SQLize, and if you're expert to that, so same goes. This knexJS is also performed the same way. So it's a matter of usage. If you're comfortable with this one, then it's a good choice. So let's explore. Okay, so this will take a while. While we wait for this one, you can compare this with different ORM that you already use. So bet if you want to, you can comment your message below so that we can compare that. Because on the next couple of chapters, I'll be going to discuss each and one of them. The one with your favorite SQLize, Bookshelf, Object.js, and a lot more. So stay tuned. So we're going to discuss all of that in this topic. Okay, so I think this will take a while. So while waiting for this one, we can create our start application. So in this topic, I won't be using any MVC. I'm going to lower this one. I'm going to just create a simple script so that we will understand this clearly on how to use Knex. Okay, good. This one's okay. Okay, for my first code here, I'm going to perform a create table .js. Okay, so let's all begin with this simple script. So let's say I'm going to apply this option here. Then I'm going to specify our client. Since our client is MySQL 2. Oh, but before we're going to proceed here, let us examine first our package.json. Very important that we know the version, because whatever we're going to write in here should be compatible with the things that you're working. For some cases, things will change from time to time, so better we need to know which version that we're going to use. Okay, for this package, our knexJS here, or Knex, is version 0.21, and our MySQL 2 is version 2. Okay, so please take note. Okay, cool. So let's continue. So going back here, from our client, we're going to set up now our connection. Okay, so the usual. So our host, let's say 127.0.0.1, or you can simply type this as localhost, doesn't matter. And our user, so my user here is root, password 12345, And our database is knexDB. Okay, so that's the first part. Then from here, I'm going to apply that option. So to do that, I need to call const knex, then require knex, and then from section here, we're going to apply our option. Okay, so that's the first part. Now, this is how Knex works in creating or performing some queries. So since we're going to create our table, so to call that, we need to call Knex. Oh, this should be Knex. So this is Knex. I'm going to remove this one here. Okay, so this will be Knex.schema dot create table users. Okay. From here, I'm going to call the table. That should be it. Okay, so that's how we create a table. Then from the table, we're going to perform the increments. We're here going to assign ID for our increments. Then table.string for the name. Table.integer, that's our age. Okay, then so let's call a console.log. We can say that table created. Okay, so that's the first one. Now, from here, we're going to perform a catch. Then so I'm going to perform the console.log then throw okay, then confirm finally, then we need to destroy our Knex. So very important to destroy the connection. Okay, so let's examine. Okay, so from here, we're creating a table named users and with the fields of ID, name, and age. So let's run this one. So node create table, enter. Okay, so there you go. So from this point here, our table is created. So let's check our database. So from here, going to refresh. There you go. Okay, so yeah, so this one here is already created. So let's continue. Okay guys, so that's it. That's the first part. Now that we created our let's move this one here. Okay. Okay, cool. So that's the first part. Now that we finish creating our query command for creating tables, the next thing I want to try is creating an insert. So this will, of course, we need the data for our table. So from here, I'm going to create a new file and I'm going to name this as insert user. Users.js. Okay, that should be it. And then, I'm going to close that. I can copy this one and paste here. Rather, I copy all of this here and paste here. Okay. Then, from here, I'm going to call our cons users. So I'm going to perform a array or a JSON format to save this file content. So let's say I'll be using name as wiki, age, let's say 40. Copy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say Mylene 35, Richmond 8, Yan 7, Miggy 7. Okay, so that's alright, so that's the one. So these are our temporary tables. Now from here, I'm going to call the Knex. So the next thing is we need to call the tables, which is users, then insert. Here, then should be that insert. Insert users. Okay. Then need to provide this console here. So from here, going to perform a console log data inserted. Okay, so yeah, then we can copy from here the catch and this one. Save. So cool. So from here, we create an array or a JSON file or temporary data to save in here. And we're going to insert that in this table. So let's try. I'm going to clear this one here and type note insert users. Here we go. Okay, so this one is okay. So let's check our table. So from here, let's say data. Okay, so here. Okay, as you can see, guys, our data is already insert. So cool. Yeah, good. So this is how you perform the insert query. Now let's proceed with the next one. So of course, aside from insert, we're going to perform a select query. So how to perform a select query? So to do that, we're going to create a query file here, which is, let's say, select users.js. Okay. So from here, I'm going to copy this again and paste it here. Okay. Now to perform the query, so to do that, you need to type knex dot from users dot select all. Okay, so this is how you perform select all. Then from here, I'm going to call the rows. Then for row of rows, let's say going to perform a console log here and use this one so that this is a dynamic preview. So here, going to call the row, let's say name. Okay, let's maybe expand this one. 2, 3. Okay. So let's say this one is ID, name, and age. Okay, good. Now let's apply a catch. So I'm going to copy from here. So copy this here, then apply that in here. Save. So let's try. So I need to type this here, then node, select users, just users. There you go. Okay, cool. So this is one of the things that we can encounter in creating a select query. Now, how about if we're going to perform a conditions query? So like performing where. So to do that, let's create another file. Let's say select where.js. Okay, so we're going to perform a condition. So to do that, we need to copy this one as well, then paste here. Okay, so we can copy the previous example. So we can copy this one here, then paste here. Okay. Okay, so we're going to perform the condition. So from here, select, let's say going to select the name and the age. Then this is where we're going to perform the where condition, where age is greater than 8. Okay. Save. Okay, at this point here, this is where we conduct our condition query. So let's try. I'm Going to clear this one. Then type node select where and enter. Oh, okay. So yes, we have an error. Select age. Select age. Select. Oh, okay. So we have should be separate. Okay. So it should be select name and age. So it should be like this one. Going to clear this one here, and let's try again. Okay. So we have another error. So let's unknown column name age in fields. Okay. So since we removed the ID, I suppose I need to remove the ID here. Okay. As you can see, our query. So this is our query. So let's try once more. Hopefully there's no error. There you go. So yeah, a while ago, because I'm recording the ID, where in fact I did not include the ID here. So yes, so this is working now. So this is another way of how to perform a query using, of course, the usual, the select where. Now that we have like that one, how about if we're going to perform an order query? So to do that, going to create another file. We're going to name that as order users.js. Okay, so we can. Okay, I think this is a good choice. We can copy all of this from select where, copy. We're going to use that in order. Now, as instead of using where, I'll be using order by. Order by. Let's say the H. And the condition for this one is going to perform a descending order. Okay, so that's that's how we perform the ordering or the arrangement of the sorting. So let's do this one here. So make sure we save. Then let's perform node order users. And there you go. So 40, 35, 8, 7, 7. Okay, cool. So what else? Yeah, I think we basically discussed the the basic CRUD. So you can consider this as the CRUD. And of course, you can perform also other things like this one. Okay. That's it. So let's going to expand this one. Okay. So basically, we already discussed everything. Okay, so that's it, guys. Now, as you can see, using Knex.js is not really hard because you can simply see the basic command here. You can still apply the select query, but of course in a ORM format. So since this is a SQL query builder, so this works on top on those ORM that I mentioned a while ago, including the bookshelf and Adonis. So this is one of the most common ORM. So the later part, we're going to discuss more on other ORM that we know. So if you have some questions about this one, please take note. We didn't do the CLI. So if you want to explore more, you can go to this website, this documentation here. Sorry, not this one. I mean this. So from here, you can perform a lot of stuff, including using the migration, the seeds. So there's a lot of stuff here you can learn. So on the later part, we can discuss more about this one. If you guys going to comment on this section below, we can discuss this again in the future with the enhanced feature of this knexJS. Okay? That's it, guys. If you found this video informative, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. See you guys on the next video series. Cheers!